I bet you thought I wouldn't make a video by the end of the week, but here I am. It's a video. Yay! I walked into an electric fence yesterday and it knocked me straight over and I blacked out for like a second. And I've never been shocked like that before, so it was scary. Except all the kids who watch this that are like me and have lived in Northland their whole life will be like, it's nothing. Anyway, that was just the preamble, because what I'm actually going to talk about today is authorial intent. In NCEA English, a lot of stuff asks you to talk about what the author means to do, because it's a very good way of displaying your intelligence. If you can understand the text well enough to create a convincing argument that the author meant to do X with the text, you prove your understanding, you prove your external knowledge because you can know what the author's thinking, and then you prove your intelligence and you get an E9. And while that is, I think, an effective way to assess children on their ability to understand a text, I don't think the precept that authorial intent matters is actually true. I got this concept off of John Green, who shouts from the rooftops that authorial intent doesn't matter. He believes that what matters with books is the interaction between the reader and the text itself, and that the author is just the enabler of that interaction. And I have to agree with him. And I also have to believe that that concept expands to all art forms, and I think it's true because of the void of understanding between human beings. Like, me and you can both know exactly what the word sad means. But for both of us, sadness and sad as a concept is a totally different collection of memories and experiences to relate to. So, if the author writes a story with the purpose of making you feel sad, they are just gambling using their own experience and the intermediary of these arbitrary word definitions to try and make you feel what they want you to feel. And the nice thing about leading very similar lives in our society is that most of the time this works. If the author's good and they want to make you feel sad, you will probably feel sad because you can relate to their experience. But we can never know that for sure. We can never infer that because we feel sad, the author wanted us to feel sad, because our two experiences of sadness are completely different. And that is why authorial intent doesn't matter, because authorial intent effectively doesn't exist. But what I said before about this happening in other art forms, it does happen in other art forms. Specifically for me, that's music, because I'm a bit of a music nutty, or at least I think I am. And a big thing about music is the emotional bond you form with the music as it travels with you through your life, and through your experiences, and the experiences you relate it to. I know for me there are some songs or even bands that I won't listen to because they remind me of shitty things and stuff like that. And there are some songs that I know are objectively bad that I still listen to because they have a personal meaning. And that's how it should be. But then the problem comes in when there are bands like 21 Pilots that want to make songs that inspire depressed kids and help just teenagers going through a hard time and stuff. And they do this effectively. They are achieving their authorial intent. So, in that case, does the authorial intent then matter? I think not, because the product of that intent is still the interaction between us and the really good song that they make, right? The author has no part in it except as the enabler that creates the thing that we interact with. And all of the meaning comes from our interaction with the music, not our interaction with the author. At least, that's what I think anyway. I think a lot of people dislike that point of view because it discredits creators, in general. Because people put a lot of work into the art they make, and saying that the way they intend their art to be doesn't actually matter is actually pretty mean. And I know that analysing what the creator of something means by creating that thing is probably like the favorite pastime of many like professional analysts, and then like if you tell them that, it like rips out their profession from under them, and they just like that either as well. This video was going so well until I said that. I was talking to this teacher, and we were talking about how these questions ask you to analyze authorial intent, and I was like, but authorial intent doesn't matter. And she laughed at me. And then I got really salty, and now I'm making this video, and I'm also writing a kick-ass essay for English that I know she'll have to mark, and it's gonna be hilarious. See you guys next week.